在下一个场次的对谈呢，我们邀请到多位华纳兄弟探索公司内容制作的代表，以及 Fremantle Indonesia 来接力跟大家分享谁说一定要原创，从国际节目圣经学到的事情。这边我们一共会请到4位讲者，首先请到的是李美仪，她是亚洲区纪实与生活类内容总监 from Warner Brothers Discovery， 以及 Leonora Teale， 她是业务执行总监，来自 Warner Brothers International Television Production， 还有创意格式开发与制作副总裁 Levan， Studio WBD Korea 制作开发经理 Albert Park， 还有 Fremantle 的总经理 Sakti Parantean。接下来时间，我们就邀请李美仪 Mayyi， 亚洲区纪实与生活类内容总监 from Warner Brothers Discovery。Let's welcome her.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the host for introducing me. As he mentioned, my name is Mayyi Lee, and I'm the content editorial lead at WBD for the Asia-Pacific region. It is a pleasure to be here today alongside my coworkers and also my friends here. It's our first time working together on this presentation. Today, we're going to talk about why unscripted formats, why formats. Formats is very exciting. It's full of potential. You know why? Because it deals with real people, real emotions, and a lot of moments that are not scripted, just very spontaneous. So that actually allows a lot of emotional feeling from the people in the unscripted format production to the viewer. I think there's a lot of relatability that happens. But most importantly, working on a format is a way to collaborate internationally. If you buy or license a format and you do the format in Taiwan, there's a lot of opportunities to really have creative discussions with the international team on a very structured level, but also a very kind of collaborative, creative level. Today, we are very excited to bring top format experts from the UK, from Korea, and from Indonesia. So first of all, we're going to be talking about WBITVP, which is the Warner Brothers International Television Production Team with Leonora and Ed. They're going to talk about what's the commercial benefit of working on unscripted formats. Then we're going to talk about how Studio WBD Korea, via Albert Park, how he managed to kind of work alongside Korean government as well to kind of help with the K-content success story. Then Sakti from Fremantle will share about the formats from Fremantle, because Fremantle is a very big format giant as well. So there's a lot of sharing that needs to be done today, but most importantly, Taiwan isn't a very big buyer of formats at this point. In terms of the top exporters of formats in the world, it's the UK, the US, Netherlands, and Korea. I think today is a very good opportunity to jumpstart discussions on bringing international formats to Taiwan, perhaps even inspiring people here to create their own formats. So today is just a start, but without much ado, let me play a clip first. Thank you.
The wonderful yellow lines.
The Bachelor.
Bachelorette. Bachelor in Paradise.
Feels like something out of a fairy tale.
Australia.
Japan.
Denmark.
Canada.
Anywhere in the world.
I'm here to fall in love.
This is what love is about.
I'm 100% British.
I believe in the power of the first date.
The message of love is international.
Love doesn't discriminate to anyone. What are you looking for?
Just someone that I can vibe with.
We have to help them find love.
On a first date.
Welcome to the Repair Shop.
Putting the life back into these things is fantastic.
We're using time-honored skills to preserve history. Welcome to the wheel!
Círculo, a girar.
I'm here to find out a bit about my family. This is my great-great-grandfather.
Your ancestors.
Wow.
Why did we leave here?
He took his own life. That's so sad.
He was the youngest of 14.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
La Super Nanny.
They are in a very desperate situation that they want changed. Hello.
Welcome to
Get your trash.
Bring your stuff in. Have it valued by an expert. Sold to a dealer for cash.
£10. Bit higher.
100 000.
Love it, love it, love it.
Welcome to F-Boy Island. He's really cute, but he looks like he's gonna ruin my life.
I'm hoping for a nice guy, but I'm always drawn to the F-boys. I'm a little bit worried.
Wie is een nice guy? Wie is een F-boy?
Please give a warm welcome to Ed and Leonora.
Thank you, May, for the introduction, and thank you for the invitation to be here today and to speak to you. It's wonderful to see so many of you in the audience today. My name is Ed Levan, and I head up creative and format development at Warner Bros. International Production. This is my colleague, Leonora.
Hello, I'm Leonora. I am based in London with Ed, and I'm responsible for format sales, format licensing in all of Asia for all WBD-controlled IP for television. So if you like any of the wonderful titles you see here today, please get in touch with me.
We are, of course, part of the wonderful Warner Bros. Discovery family that was formed just over a year ago, melding some of the best creativity from Warner Bros. With some of the wonderful international channels that the Discovery networks have. A few of the logos are on screen behind me today that operate in and around your territories, but we're thrilled to be part of the enlarged Warner Bros. Family. Leo, you're going to talk a bit more about our division.
So we come from all the way from London. This is our first time in Taiwan, so please be kind. We come from the very catchy title, Warner Bros. International Television Production, WBITVP, and we are the unit within WBD which controls all the exploitation of scripted and unscripted formats throughout the world from any of the WBD companies that we work with. We have approximately 460, more than 460, unscripted format titles available for local production remake in Taiwan and in the rest of the world. And then we have a whole other catalogue of scripted fiction titles as well available for local remake. So the catalogue is extremely broad and large and wonderful, and from many different countries, not just the US or the UK.
So 460 formats in our catalogue. I'll start now with number one. No, I won't, don't worry. Here is a selection of some of our biggest selling formats around the world. Some of these names may be familiar to you, some may be new to you. I hope that after today's meeting, you'll feel free to contact us for more information on any of our formats. But just to let you know that The Bachelor, you can see behind me, that is the world's #1 reality format. It is sold in over 40 territories to date, including many Asian territories. First Dates, you can see behind me, another huge powerhouse, a dating format that is a daily format in Germany, in the Netherlands, and in Spain, and many other lifestyle formats, those that have originated from America, from Europe, and from our Discovery colleagues around the world. Also, you'll see on screen there at the bottom, Glow Up. Glow Up is a competition format to find new makeup artists, and we've recently produced that for Tencent in China. But today we're going to tell you about why we think you should be licensing formats, and we've got 7 very simple reasons why we think you should be excited about formats. Leo.
So why would you license a format? Why would you pay extra money to license a format and not just create your own idea? Well, number 1, it's a proven concept. The show has been made before successfully somewhere in the world. In our case, many shows have been made in the US, the UK, and many other countries. This is an example, The Bachelor. We've made, as Ed mentioned, in 40 countries so far. Multiple seasons in many of those territories. So you're buying the track record, the ratings, the success, the experience, and the know-how of how to make a format in your own territory on the back of many versions which have been produced before. And this is an image from our very successful and wonderful version of The Bachelor, originally in the US, and now for 5 seasons in Japan on Amazon.
The second reason you should be looking at formats is its ability to target a specific demographic. So if you're a channel or a producer who wants to attract a broad family audience, we have shows that will work for you. If you want to attract a female or a male skewing audience, we have formats that will attract those for you. If you want to attract a young demographic, we have formats that will work for you. Formats give you the very specific ability to target and engage a very specific audience, and therefore hopefully be a success for your advertisers or your subscribers.
Another great benefit of licensing a format instead of creating your own idea is speed to market. So you are going to be on air much quicker with a format than with a concept which you create yourself from scratch. So there's an example here. Our wonderful colleagues at Discovery Korea, together with JTBC Korea, developed a studio singing talent format called Sing Again. And within 9 months of our division, WBITVP, taking this show out to the marketplace, presenting it internationally to our own colleagues in our production companies around the world, and to people like you in countries around the world, we have the first international version in just 9 months in production, finished a couple of weeks ago, and will be on air in Belgium next year.
The fourth reason you should be excited about formats is the ability to build a brand. I'm going to use the example of our best-selling format, The Bachelor, here. The Bachelor is a reality show where one man finds love by dating 22 women. It's a very successful show. But just as successful is the spin-off of The Bachelor called The Bachelorette, where one woman dates 22 men in order to find love. Now, if you're not successful at finding love on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, don't give up, because you can go to Bachelor in Paradise, where you can fall in love, hopefully, all over again and again and again. And if you don't find love on The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, or in Paradise, and you get to the age of 70, you can go on The Golden Bachelor, which is our brand new show from America, where we look for love for people over the age of 70. Now, what does this mean? It means if you're a broadcaster, you can commission one show, The Bachelor, and then you can license all of the spin-offs so that throughout the year you can build a brand, you can build audience, and you can build great loyalty. And that's something you can only do with a format.
Another great benefit of working with a format is that you're building international relationships with distributors like us, with distributors like Fremantle and the other big international groups. And that brings with it a whole community and a network of contacts and relationships which will last you for life in your TV career, and the possibility to work together on more projects in the future. So it's a really great bridge to creating those international relationships.
So there's 5 good reasons to be thinking about buying a format. But once you've bought the format, you've licensed it, what happens then? The other advantage of licensing a format is the support that you get once you've licensed it. And I'm talking about support throughout the entire production period.
So in the initial development phase, once you've licensed your format, you will receive a production Bible, which is an instruction manual, how to make that format in your territory. And with that instruction manual, we don't just give you the instructions and leave you to it. We support you all the way through the production with our consultancy. And that includes everything from sample budgets from different countries, schedules that we suggest for different ways of making the show, editorial ideas of what your ideas are to adapt the show. We will help you to adapt it in the best way according to the experience we have from the many versions and countries where we have produced. It's a very supportive package, which includes a visit from our production consultant to your production on location. It's extremely helpful to help support that transition from the original version to a quick and cost-effective version in your territory.
Absolutely. So as Leo says, from the development phase, when you're working out who your cast are, where your locations should be, what your schedules should look like, we will help you. Through the production phase, we will be there. Production Bibles, as Leo mentioned, but also graphics packages are usually available. Music packages can be available for you to recreate the look and feel of the original show. Although I should say, we are very flexible in adapting formats to local territories. We believe in localization of ideas, not carbon copies. And as Leo said, on-location consultancy, that's really important, because there's nothing like having somebody who's produced the show before on hand to help you out when things get tough. The last thing I want to mention is that when you license a format from Warner Bros. International Television Production, you become part of our family, because you join a group of other international producers who are making the same program. We host events for producers who've licensed our shows to share ideas, to swap best practice, to talk about innovation. And this means that when you then produce subsequent series, you are armed with all of the knowledge that your colleagues around the world have gathered. So the more shows that are produced, the more knowledge is created, and the more knowledge is shared. Leo is going to talk in a few minutes about the catalogue that is available. But I just wanted to sum up a few words before we finish up and say the key thing about buying a format is about de-risking the commissioning process. It's about targeting your specific audiences. And it's about being able to be supported throughout the production. But it's also an incredibly exciting thing to be part of. It's a creative process that links you with producers all around the world and will build your skills as a producer as you work with us and your colleagues from across different countries. Leo.
Okay, so if you are interested to check out our exciting formats, all 460 of them, please do take note of the QR codes here to access our digital formats catalogues, scripted and unscripted. All of our cleared formats are in these catalogues, and I very much look forward to helping you identify which formats might be relevant for you. Send me an email, get in touch, and I can make some suggestions. I'm sure you don't all want to look through 460 pages of content, so please get in touch and I can target you a bit better. And here's our contact details. Ed and myself, happy to be in touch with everybody, and by email, we can set up Zoom calls once we're back in London.
Thank you very much indeed for your time. Thank you for inviting us to speak with you today. It's been a great pleasure. Have a great rest of your conference. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leonora and Edward. Please be seated. Thank you. 感谢两位为我们介绍了这么多很好的影视的资源呢，希望大家可以跟他们多多合作，让我们的作品也能够卖到全球。Next, I would like to invite Albert Park, Studio WBD Korea 制作开发经理。Let's welcome Albert Park.
All right. Thank you so much. My name is Albert Park. I'm actually production development manager at Studio WBD Korea. We are actually a part of Korean independent production company, part of the Warner Brothers Discovery. So for today, I mean, you just heard about great formats, what the benefits of format from our UK colleague. I want to take you through some the Korean format marketplace, what led to the popularity of Korean formats, and as well as talk a little bit about who we are and what kind of formats that we produce, and how we can our experience in Korea resonate with the Taiwan markets. Sorry. So that's the content, and maybe a few takeaways from my experience talking with a lot of Korean producers and creative industry. So I just want to first off start with a timeline of Korean formats. As you can see, some of the contents you might recognize. In Korea, actually the format sales began in early 2003, but it wasn't until late 2009 when we had Korean government support from similar Taika organization called KOKA. And once that Korean government support began, the Chinese market happened to open up. So if you look at the titles such as Baba Tree Nar, that really kicked off the Korean format sales in Asia. So through 2013 to 2015, that was the China boom period, where a lot of Korean contents were produced as a co-production in China. And of course, I'm Singer followed as well. But one thing I like to highlight is Grandpas Were Flowers, which was Korea's first format from CJ that got commissioned in the US. So this was sort of like a game changer where we had our Korean Asian produced formats that got adopted in the US called Better Late Than Never. Things were going really well for Korean producers until 2016 and 17. We had to face a very difficult time with China's stagnation. There was a ban on Korean content. So this was time when Korean producers and creatives had to cannot rely on Asian territories. We started to make our own ideas and really expand into Western markets. So we looked into the US and Europe as main targets of the most kind of mature markets. And these formats, The Masked Singer, Good Doctor is a scripted title, and I Can See Your Voice, which we call it like the game changer of Korean formats that led to the boom of Korean contents. I would like to also make brief mention of some of the key players of Korean formats, including ourselves. So Korea is very vertically integrated. We have few major players that belong to the media networks, CJ, JTBC, NBC, and of course us. We have all internal unscripted units, and mainly for the formats, there's a dedicated format teams. So not only are they responsible for local productions, but the dedicated format teams really focus on how to package it, how to collaborate with the international companies like WBITVP and Fremantle, and then sell the formats. So some of the key titles you can see, of course, The Sing Again, which we co-produce with SJJ, JTBC, but The King of Masked Singer, which is really most sold formats from Korea is from MBC, and I Can See Your Voice is from CJ. So this is just some of the main players. So now we have to talk about the role of the global OTTs and how they came in and what's how we collaborate with these global streamers. So with the introduction of global streamers, mainly driven by I think Netflix and Disney Plus, you see that titles like Physical 100 and Singles Inferno is widely popular across the APAC, Taiwan, everywhere. But the problem that we are witnessing is that it's really increasing the production budgets. So it's something that that even including us, we always have to take into consideration. But having said that, there's some benefits of working with global streamers, and I've seen the cases of Exchange and King of Masked Singer where there's some opportunity to have your own ideas being picked up by global streamer, and there's a potential possibility of format sales. And addition to that, I think there's more opportunities are kind of given to individual creators and production companies to come up with new genres or try different genres of titles with some increased budget. But one thing that we're witnessing in Korea, I think it might be similar in Taiwan, is there's a big market competition between the global streamers and local platforms. So in Korea, of course, Netflix is leading the pie, but we have the number 2 and number 3 homegrown platforms like TVing and Wave. They're really competing for the unscripted titles to match with the Netflix. And most recently, there was an article and reports being said that there's a potential merge between TVing and Wave. So that would be a very interesting game change ecosystem for Korean unscripted format business. So with all this information, what really led to the global popularity of Korean formats? So first, as you saw, we relied a lot on China. So we sold a lot of Korean formats to Asia. But now we quickly turn into the global markets. And like Ed and Leo mentioned, I think the formats really transcends the borders. So a lot of Korean creators, and they have great ideas. They really teamed up with a lot of international companies to sell their formats. And with this, I think you need to have some game changer formats. And I have to say the King of Masked Singer and I Can See Your Voice, 2 franchise formats from Korea that really changed the K-format brand. And with these 2 sales, I think now the Korean formats, as you can see, is a top 4 exporter after UK and USA and Netherlands. I believe this number 3, first top 3 chart never changed, but Korea has really risen to become the top exporter, not only the exporter, but the generator of formats in the international market, and really driven by these 2 franchise formats. One thing I wanted to add is that for I Can See Your Voice, it is actually distributed. Certain territories is distributed by our WBITVP. So when I was at CJ, we worked closely with the UK team to package, and then they were able to sell to multiple territories, as you can see here. Also, it's important that when you're doing a format businesses, the role that PR plays. And these are some of the excerpts that I dragged in from Deadline and major PR agencies. So Korean formats are frequently being discussed and shared. And then the role and the power of international PR really, is beneficial. And a lot of times, sometimes if it's just for the local production, these major publications somehow catches your production, and they're really, unique, marketing tool to promote some of your original ideas as well. So just one example is that the Singer game, which we collaborated with the UK team, the news came right after the London showcase. that our UK team prepared this year. All right, so that was just brief introduction of Korean formats, and now I just want to take you into our studio WBD Korea. So we were actually established in 2020, relatively young, but we managed to create over 20 titles and over 300 hours of original production, mainly in the unscripted field. A lot of the works that we do is actually co-production with Korean local channels and platforms. And we are fortunate to have in-house creators, with one being joining me here today. And I think he will have a separate session for tomorrow as well. Before I delve into further, I want to show you a brief reel of Studio WBD Korea.
혼자 떠나는 여행에 설레지 않는 사람이 있을까요?
잠적을 해보고 싶었어요.
뭐야 여기 어디야? 어찌 됐어?
싱어기 무명 가수. 워너브라더스 디스커버리.
워너브라더스 디스커버리.
Warner Brothers Discovery.
All right. Thank you. So I wanted to introduce some of our in-house creators, with Mr. Jang Seok-ha being joined here at the event. Just for the record, he's the most renowned Korean food reality producer. So if you have a chance to have a great idea related to the food, he's the person to go to. So we work with all, through co-production and partnership with all the Korean major networks and then streamers. And not only that, we, with help from our WBD APAC and Taiwan team, we want to expand that reach to maybe do a co-production with the Taiwanese producers and other creatives as well. But we are, we're very flexible, and we know the best formula of Korean format that worked in Korea and in international markets. So it's our idea to maybe discuss some of the potential ideas with Taiwan producers. But of course, I do want to showcase some of the main contents that were produced by us. First one being the Sing Again. So as you notice, King of Masked Singer and I Can See Your Voice was a big game changer for Korean music entertainment format. So we collaborated with the JTBC to find another new music competition program, not just for the finding the musical talent, but because there are so many audition programs that have existed, and I know you guys also have Jungle Voice, and some Taiwan is known for being musical talent. So there's some singers and musical talent that were kind of lost, or we know the song, we know that song really well, but we just cannot identify that person. So this format really touches on that point where we give another chance for these forgotten singers a second chance to rise to the stardom. And we've collaborated with our great UK team to package the formats, and it's being distributed internationally. And I'll show you a brief trailer for Sing Again.
Sing Again is the sensational second chance reality competition show sweeping Asia.
노래의 끈을 지금 지금 놓지 못하고 있거든요. 계속.
Once famous, now forgotten singers are given a final shot at stardom. With their identities concealed and replaced by a number, they're divided into categories to compete in a series of elimination rounds. Round 1, they must perform the song they were once famous for. Can they convince the jury they're more than a one-hit wonder? In round 2, the solo singers are paired up in duos and go head-to-head in a series of 2 versus 2 sing-offs.
다음 라운드가 더 기대되는 팀의 버튼을.
지금 여기서 좋은 동료를 만났네요. 이제부터 시작일 뿐입니다.
Friendships are put to the ultimate test in round 3. As the duos now face off against each other.
심사위원단 분들은 어게인 버튼을 눌러주세요.
With 10 singers left, it's time to finally reveal the singers' names.
나는 가수 이모진입니다.
나는 가수 최혜근입니다.
And for them to step into the spotlight for one final performance.
제 오늘의 숨을 다해서 부르겠습니다.
But in the end, only one singer will be chosen to sing again.
Right, that was Sing Again. The second show that I wanted to showcase, is called Ramen Brothers in Japan. So this was our original production that happened 2023. It's actually, I'm proud to say that we just licensed this and is available in Taiwan on Jungtian TV starting from Sunday. So all the Taiwan, the audience can stream the Korean version on CTI TV starting from this past Sunday. So what we did was we brought 3 Korean celebs, Kang Ho-dong, Lee Seung-gi, and Bae In-yeok. They're top celebrity personalities. And they have all been, they're all foodies. And they wanted to take Korean instant noodle ramen and open up a pop-up restaurant at the heart of ramen birthplace, which is in Enoshima, Japan. So it was sort of started as a co-production project with a Japanese broadcaster. We brought in Korean celebrities into Japan and run a pop-up restaurant, showcasing Korean instant noodles, but also trying to earn the hearts of the Japanese locals. So I think for Taiwanese version, something like this, I think the food can transcend, and you guys have a really good noodle dishes. So hopefully, for the next season, we can collaborate with the Taiwan producers for the potential second season in Taiwan. All right, I'll share the brief teaser.
Okay,
that was Ramen Brothers. Off the Grid. This is actually most iconic production from WBD Studio Korea. You probably recognize a lot of these famous Korean celebrities. Basically, what we do is we take them a 2 days of trip from their lives of busy lives of celebrity and into the sort of peaceful haven place where they can rest and then have a very self-discovery trip for themselves. One thing for this was very sponsor friendly. We have a lot of international automobile brands that really provide a lot of support. And also, I would like to mention the Yoo Seung-ho, if you see the far right. His latest season was shot in Sarawak in Malaysia. So this proved that we could also do some sort of co-production of Korean celebrities or Taiwan celebrities, or there's K-pop celebrities into Taiwan or vice versa. So this format, I think, is very universal and can easily attract the audience. So I'll show you a brief clip of one of the Korean celeb, Kim Hee-ae, of Off the Grid.
내가 제일 행복하다. 혼자 떠나는 여행에 설레지 않는 사람이 있을까요? 어릴 때부터 일해서 보통 제 나이 때 할 수 있었던 거를 놓친 게 많아서 보통 분들에게는 그냥 평범한 얘기지만 저는 이렇게 뭐 혼자 여행하기 여러 가지 모든 거를 경험해 보는 게 챌린징이면서 동시에 소확행이에요.
Sorry, I know I'm running out of time, but I do want to maybe end with few keywords that I actually witnessed working with a lot of Korean producers and having witnessed that rave of the journey that we took is that a lot of people think when we are creating formats, it has to work in the international. But in fact, a lot of formats that I've dealt with requires local success. So if you want to have great original ideas, I think it's to keep in mind having a local success is a really important factor when you are trying to pitch the formats. Of course, the original idea and concept definitely should have some universal theme or element. So like the dating, love, old food, that everyone can enjoy. That's a really kind of important factor for when you are trying to pitch an idea, and that concept has to relate to the program and the message that you wanted to deliver in that show. You have to answer this question: what intent, what purpose your original idea is trying to portray or message. So there could be a really good format, or there's a lot of beats into it. But if you cannot answer that simple question, I've seen a lot of failures of idea being put down as well. And last but not least, I think its format is like a marathon, right? The Masked Singer and I Can See Your Voice took 3 or 4 years for it to become the fame that it deserves. So I think for creators, it's gonna take some time, but eventually it will pay off. But of course, through that journey, you will learn something, and hopefully, I think Studio WBD Korea or our UK team can be a trusted partner for your success in this format businesses. So this last slide is basically the roadmap that I was involved in kind of collaborating with the Korean government and just pinpoint some of the main pillars that really made up the Korean formats, which is today. I'm not going to go into the details, but one thing I do want to highlight is even if you have very good institutional production and educational value, I think in order for your format to deserve it, you need to be able to sell and have some business savvy mind. So I think for Taiwan, you have all the tools and all the creative ideas here. Hope that we can serve that last hole with you guys. So thank you so much for your time. All right, thank you. I'll end my presentation.
Thank you, Albert. Thank you. So I believe with your introductions, many Taiwanese local producers would like to cooperate with you. 接下来呢，我们要请到的是来自印尼的 Fremantle 总经理 Sakti Parantean 跟我们分享。Let's welcome Sakti Parantean.
Check. Ni hao ma. I just learned Mandarin last night, and I'm very grateful to be here for the first time in Taiwan, and really looking forward to mingle with you and share some context and everything. Well, before I start off my presentation, I would like to send my biggest thanks to the organizer of TAICA and NMEA, along with WBD, for extending this invitation for myself. I greatly appreciate this opportunity, and I look forward to sharing some of the insights into the world of international format content distribution through the eyes of Fremantle. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Sakti Parantean, and I actually oversee the Fremantle's production arm in Jakarta, Indonesia. I also work closely with my colleague from Singapore who handles the distribution side of the business in Asia. So they are focusing on the 3 business lines. The first one is licensing our finished content. The second one is licensing our international formats and also exploitation of our IPs on digital and social media. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to delve straight into our presentation about the company that I work for, Fremantle, and our business of international content in production and distribution. It works. In case you're not familiar with Fremantle, we represent some of the most well-known and beloved IPs from around the world, covering a wide range of genres, from entertainment to dramas to films, and the latest in the documentaries space as well. It's a bit complicated, yeah? But as you can see from this slide, our history go way back since 1917. I wasn't born yet. But I'm just gonna go through some critical highlights that I probably can share with you right now. So in 1990, that's the year where Pearson TV was created. Probably most of you who has experience at the time working in China market already familiar with Pearson TV and some of the formats. And this was actually the point when the international distribution business of the company really took off. 2001, Pearson TV actually rebranded to Fremantle Media. And thereafter, you see us actively rolling out some of the most well-known entertainment IPs, like for example, American Idol, which was launched in 2002, X Factor launched in 2004, and followed by America's Got Talent in 2006, and so on. So basically, in the early 2000s, saw us spread our wings in the entertainment genre. We soon realized that it is important for us to diversify our content offering with premium cable and OTTs, ramping up their commissioning of highly quality dramas. So you can see from the chart in 2015 was very significant for us with the acquisition of Wildside, an Italian production company, and through them we launched The Young Pope, starring Jude Law. I believe it was on HBO, which was a big success, and we follow up by The New Pope the year after, starring John Malkovich. In 2018, Fremantle Media rebranded to Fremantle, the name that we are known today. And now, while we are not taking our eyes off our bread and butter, which is entertainment genre, entertainment business, we started to focus on our scripted business in both dramas and films. And the new attention now, of course, our non-scripted slate, including documentaries. We are not a Hollywood studio. You can see from the stats here in this chart, we sort of operate very much like a Hollywood studio with over 5,000 employees working across 27 countries and own a very wide range of production companies, which a lot of them have come into the foray since the past years as we have been on a buying spree to fuel our big ambition to be a leading content supplier to the world. Here is a snapshot of our production offices around the world. You can see it's all over the world. And if you add the distribution side of the business, it's actually catering all the clients, networks, OTTs from around the world as well. There has to be a video played, definitely. So I would like to showcase some of our most successful formats from entertainment. Oops.
What I want to see when I watch America's Got Talent.
You blew the roof off.
You will have to abstain from sexual practices for your stay.
5 farmers, 4 ladies each, and 1 month to find love.
Welcome to Supermarket Sweep.
Survey said. Name something that follows the word pork.
You pine.
Huh?
Thank you. There is one slide that I missed out. So in 2022, basically through the 54 production companies, we produce 12,000 hours of programming. Majority of it is entertainment shows, 430 titles, and 115 drama series and films, and of course 52 documentaries. And we are just about to begin bigger slates in the future. Already? Okay, just to share you with some of our most successful formats here. As you can see from the slide here, we have good mix of big shiny floor talent competition, as well as game shows like Family Feud and Price is Right, even Hole in the Wall, which is a wacky action game show that we represent from Fuji TV in Japan. And this amazing format, Got Talent, Idols, X Factor, they have actually been produced in China as well. And the third one, Masked Singer, actually we represent from ABC to be produced outside Asia, and it has been successfully produced in 25 territories. So we also work along some other format creators to be able to be distributed by Fremantle. On top of that, we also have some world's-leading dating and also game shows IP, like for example, Too Hot to Handle, which we produce for Netflix. Family Feud, that have been adapted in 80 territories, including in Indonesia. We started Family Feud running this production term last year. And now we are almost to reach episode number 500, non-stop for almost 2 years now. So it shows that strong format can actually live almost forever. I can see Family Feud probably live longer than myself. And one of the things we do as producers, like for example, what our friends Ed and also Leo has shared as well, we as producers, we as creators, sometimes we have a chance to get together, to sit together, share our learnings, and see if it is applicable to Indonesia, see if, say, for example, one of our creative in Indonesian Idol was shared to the producers in American Idol, and they are able to implement some of the creatives from Indonesia in America. So that is the beauty of working for an international format. Now, why producing international formats? We have heard from Ed and also from Leo. Probably I can add a little bit on this. Actually, the simple reason that I can say is someone else, some expert, has already tried and tested the concept, which usually came from a paper format or some sizzle. Someone else has made an effort to produce a proof of concept before it becomes a true format and gains success. I will talk a little bit later about how Fremantle comes up with a format. But I would like to take you to this simple case study of Got Talent. So it started with a very simple proposition from Mr. Simon Cowell. He said, why can we have a talent competition show that showcase a diverse talented people from a nation? So a bunch of producers from Fremantle as well as from our partner Psycho got together, and then they come up with this format, which is called Got Talent. Now, as you can see on the screen, Got Talent format has been around in 17 years, in 76 territories, never stopped. This year we produced Indonesia's Got Talent. We are familiar with Asia's Got Talent a few years ago. China also has made its own Got Talent version, and the success in YouTube and digital views is tremendous. So far, it's been viewed by 2 billion viewers around the world. So I will speak a little bit about how Fremantle, what is the process in Fremantle to launch a format. What is it exactly are we looking for if we want to create a format? We believe in these 4 pillars. Number 1 is transferable. Number 2 is scalable. Number 3 is repeatable. And number 4 is promotable. I'm really sorry about all this mixed up in the fonts, but hopefully you can see. Transferable. One good format has to be able to travel. One good format cannot live in one territory and people in the territory just happy to watch that format. The joy has to be able to be transferred and to make everyone, as many as possible, in any market with different background, with different languages, to enjoy the format. Scalable. A good format can be produced in an expensive way and also can be produced in a cheaper way, and not very cheap way, as long as it follows the format points which we usually provide with the Bible. Repeatable. A good format has to be able to sustain not only for one season, not only for 1 year, but like, for example, Got Talent, it has been around for 17 years. Family Feud in Indonesia, it was produced first time in 1996. I was still in college, but now we are still producing it. Promotable. It's actually a science now. It has to be part of the pillars now, because we want to promote the format, and also it has to be bespoken. It has to be able to speak to the targeted market as well as advertisers, because we are now working in a world where everyone wants to collaborate with the creativity. How we launch a format. So once we consider there is a good concept or paper concept or a pitch, there are usually 5 phases in Fremantle that we have to endure in terms of making a concept to be a successful format. Now, these are the 5 phases that I probably could speak a little bit about it, but I'm sure by reading this you all understand. Number 1 is development. Everyone here loves development. Everyone here loves to think about new idea. Here in Fremantle with us, including Fremantle Indonesia, we have our development department. And everyone, I believe in every company has their own development department. But not every idea is a great idea. So this is actually something like a war zone for the creatives. Okay, my idea is better than yours, but this is the fun of having a development department. When we believe there is a chance for a creative to be made to be a successful format, then we go into pre-production. In the pre-production, we don't really go into things like how many cameras, who are going to be the hosts, who are going to be the talents, the sort of stuff. We also have to think about how we market it. What kind of PR, what kind of strategy. That has to be injected somehow to the format itself. Number 3, after we've done all these phases, of course we do the production. Sometimes we follow up by workshops just to test it out. If this format is actually worth or not to be introduced to the larger market. And then we produce the concept. There is a TV or OTT or platform that we can work with to show or to premiere our show. Is it 1 episode? Is it 1 series? And then after that, our sales team, our distribution agents will launch it in the major markets, such, for example, MIPCOM or ATF. And the pitches and the sales go on after that. And then after that, then we can hope to have the first production outside the original territory. That's probably a simple and short introduction of Fremantle in general. As I said, I work in the production arm of the business, but if you really would like to speak to Fremantle about our formats, please take photos. These are my colleagues in Singapore who handle the format licensing and co-development opportunities, but I'm very happy to answer any question if you have. I'll be around here all day, hopefully. Pictures already taken, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Just would like to show you some of the logos from the formats here. Yeah, everyone familiar with that? I love this. My mom cooks better than yours. I think this will fly in Taiwan. Project Runway as well. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Mr. Sakti Parantean. And now we will have Mayyi Lee to come onto stage again.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sakti. I think today is just the beginning. Literally, it was just an introduction about formats to Taiwan. I asked a lot of the main format licensing companies, has Taiwan ever bought formats from you? They said no. I said, why not? We don't know, maybe because they want to create their own or they think it's too expensive. I think today sparks a conversation, and I think it's all about exposure. Literally, today is, I think, the first time that Ed and Leonora, Albert from Korea, and Sakti, it's their first time to Taiwan. And I just can't believe that we haven't been able to engage with the big players. before, but I think today, thanks to NMEA, thanks to Taika, that we're able to bring some of these ideas to you, and maybe in the future, we will see formats being sold from Taiwan to the world or licensed from Taiwan for local production. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope this gave you some inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayyi, for the conclusion of this part. Thank you. Please be seated. 如同Mayyi刚才提到的哈，我们希望能够借由今天这个机会，让大家了解有更多这种不同形式的作品。那么也许我们在台湾的公司呢，也可以把一些相关的这个版权买下来，我们可以合制或者自己制作自己这样子的影视成品。